particular school to be considered, we have given them the mandate to do it at the county level. So really, it doesn't have to be referred to my office or the peers for that to be done. So we have reprioritized that in the spirit of the constitution of this country of devolution, so that we don't have to do each and everything from the center. We have to give our officers the power to do so. A chairperson, you even remember the problem we had with a number of members of parliament concerning our primary schools and the secondary schools, particularly concerning registration of schools. This administration said, no, we cannot be able to do that from Nairobi, so it is now being done at the county level, and ever since the time we said it should be done at the county level, we have seen quite a number of schools being registered, which was quite a problem there before. The other question from the Member of Parliament from Mandera, I want first to give an assurance that indeed in Mandera, I think in your constituency, almost each and every school is a beneficiary of the school feeding program.
Correct.
And I have been monitoring those areas very, very closely. Honorable Chairperson, I was personally in Wajir. I went to Turkana, I went to Marsabit for the purpose of monitoring the school feeding program. And very soon, and soon enough, I will also be coming to Mandera for the same purpose. Chairperson, apart from what we are getting from the Exchequer, such that we can be able to cover many more areas, we are also engaging the World Food Program. You know, they used to assist us in school feeding program. They stopped with effect from 2018. I think we are in agreement that they will also be able to come back and support. We have had that engagement, even a meeting chaired by His Excellency the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. So we are going to get more food, which will also be able to cater for more areas apart from what we are receiving from the Exchequer. Equally, we are engaging the World Bank, and we have had discussions on this. I'm hopeful that we should also be able to get a positive answer. So going forward, we should be able to get better answers for that. We are seeking for a grant from one other organization. If it comes, particularly the issue of water, because the amount of money we are seeking for, as of now, is how much? 7 billion? 7 billion. The 7 billion, according to the proposal that we have made, will be able to do quite a number of water programs, water projects, particularly in the northern Kenya areas and the other areas within the country. But as of now, you know that the funding that we get, which we recommend a few schools for boreholes, the money is given the Ministry of Water, and we work very, very closely with the Ministry of Water where there is need, such that once we get priority list from you, we forward the same to Ministry of Water, and the Ministry of Water is able to undertake whatever is required, because they have the technical capacity, which as a ministry we don't have. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Waziri, and I think the questions have been adequately answered. Honourable members, I think the second question was out of order. Honourable Mulyungi.
Chair, I humbly request that you give me a chance for a parting shot.
Oh, yes.
As the owner of that question. CS, on Roman the remaining schools so that they can be included in the school feeding program. You have also said that your cake is very small for the school feeding program. My request is that you consider that small cake in my constituency. Can you divide that small cake equally to all the schools in my constituency? because they experience the same problem. There is no criteria you can select school A and leave school B and their neighbors. There is no criteria. So my request is that small cake, you divide it equally as you look for more money, so that each school gets a share of the school feeding program. Otherwise, some pupils who feel disadvantaged, they will hate themselves. Why is school M being favored by the ministry more than school B? Thank you, Chair.
I think that's a very good comment. It's administrative, surely. That's a more of administrative issue. Waziri, you have a...
Yeah, thank you, Chairperson. Actually, the next consignment of food is being given in the coming month, that is the month of May. And as I've already confirmed, we are getting food from World Food Program. So most likely, Masmewa, those are the areas will for sure be considered because we are getting more food, slightly more food.
Thank you, CS.
Yes, thank you. I also want to say that, Waziri, this committee took up the issue of school feeding very seriously. I know we have very hard economic times, but during the supplementary budget, we really put it a spirited fight as a committee before the budget committee and before the House. And as Abdullah said, we were in Wajir and other parts of the Republic, there is serious hunger. So as a committee, we represented you very well before the budget and the House to make sure that you get some additional funds. And as Honorable Mulungi has rightly put it, ensure that the administration
the two head teachers, and I think the two head teachers also took the necessary disciplinary action which we did together with Teachers Service Commission. Also in other counties, Chairperson, because we have regular meetings, actually 5 meetings in my county directors of education. Whenever I'm not available, the meetings are chaired by my permanent principal secretary. And one of the items of agenda that we have had to remind them, none again, is on this particular one because we realize that there are those who can be able to unnecessarily exploit the parents because the government has been able to give capitation which will be able to cater for tuition expenses. And as you are aware, we released the 9.6 billion to junior secondary schools, so that each and every one of our junior secondary schools has received these funds, Honorable Chair, and the amount that was being given out per student was 15,042. And I'm happy to report that each and every one of our junior secondary schools, the money is now in the accounts. So with that, Chairman, we hope that all is well as far as junior secondary schools are concerned. Thank you.
Thank you, Waziri. Back to Honorable Milemba for the follow-up.
Thank you very much, Chair, and thank you, CS. I must congratulate you that you worked very hard when we began in January. It was a very difficult situation, but we can see hope. On the first question, I'll be very precise, Chair. I would only wish that you give some timeline on when you think you pay these contractors. They are really suffering within our villages. I know they have been promised by the earlier arrangement in terms of administration that money was available. So they rushed in to do the work, and most of them now possibly have gone even under because they have not been paid. So only timeline I'll be asking for. Number two, to move quickly, Honorable Chair, on question 2, I go to 1. On 2, I don't have so much. It's led to 1. But on item 3, the one where you had really answered and very well good answers to our first MP who questioned it. I looked at the table you used to qualify schools to be the annexure, and we could turn to it. I had a chance of accessing it this morning, and I would be asking Waziri that for you to keep the tenet of your item 1 and 4 section 34 142 of the Basic Education Act 2013, which I want to add on it Article 53, which deals about or talks about the rights of the child and education being one of them. The annex you gave in terms of the document used to qualify the schools may have been the document that hurt us and hurt the students of this country. But I want to also congratulate you because you have qualified so many other schools now to have the junior secondary. Look at this, Honorable Chair, that of all the items that were used to qualify and gain marks, all of them, if you look at them squarely, is the business not only of just the area, the community, the child, but it's the business of the government. If you look at question 12, that do they have a qualified teacher, it's our business to provide a qualified teacher. And marks was being provided for that. You can turn to question 161, my eyes are letting me down, 15. A teaching staff availability, it was used to qualify whether you can have junior secondary or not. It's our business as government, Teacher Service Commission to do that. And you can go on and on. You can even look, they even ended up putting in this questionnaire whether some teachers have qualified to have BEd or diploma. They remember the policy within the Ministry of Education has been discouraging these teachers to go and learn, especially in primary. But now it is being used Waziri as a tool to qualify a school to have the junior secondary note. And we can move with you down the ladder. You will see equipment, and then finally, even down there, is there one I can talk about? I don't want to waste time. So you notice that it is us. So in fact, the checklist was the checklist for the ministry and government and ourselves who are in positions of making the learners get junior secondary schools. And if we denied them, we were actually just blaming ourselves that we have not done our work. And therefore, I would request that let me borrow the word from Nabi, we liberalize this so that every student access. But then the question would be, you have done very well. Where are we in terms of qualifying as many as possible schools to have junior secondary? Finally and lastly, you answered very well.